Matcha, a vibrant green powder with a rich history and an array of health benefits, has captivated cultures for centuries. Konnichiwa, Teapro gang! I'm Tatjana, the co-founder of Teapro, and today we're diving into the bowl of matcha. Into the world of matcha, from its humble beginnings to its modern-day allure. Our journey begins in ancient China, where the art of powdered tea, or matcha, first took root. Back in the Tang Dynasty, 600 to 900 AD, the Chinese, looking for an easier way to transport green tea, came up with a clever workaround or powdered version, which they turned into bricks. Those became particularly popular amongst Buddhist monks as a way to improve their focus during meditations. Nowadays, compressed tea is more common in pu'er, using whole, often fermented leaves, which are then unpicked with a pu'er knife before steeping. However, back then, bricks were often made with green tea leaves that were ground into powder. To prepare the tea, you had to toast the brick, break it up, grinding it back into fine powder, and then whisk it. Sounds familiar? Matcha found its way to Japan in the 12th century, thanks to a Japanese monk, Eisai, who, while studying Zen Buddhism in China, recognized matcha's meditative properties, calling it the elixir of the immortals. He famously wrote the book Kisayo Joki, which translates to the Book of Tea, or How to Stay Healthy by Drinking Tea. By 1271, the Japanese had developed a new method of cultivation, using shade to create the distinct bright green color we know today. Fast forward to the 1500s, when Zen Buddhist Murata Yuko took center stage. He crafted the Japanese tea ceremony, placing matcha at its heart and establishing the 4 core principles: harmony, respect, purity, and tranquility, known as Wake Seijaku. Considering its roots in Zen Buddhism, it's no wonder matcha ceremony is so, Zen. Through meticulously choreographed movements and rituals, participants in a tea ceremony engage in a shared experience of mindfulness and connection. Known as Chanoyu, or the Way of Tea, it became an integral part of Japanese culture. Matcha, as the focal point of the tea ceremony, symbolizes purity and simplicity. Its vibrant green color and earthy flavor evoke a sense of awe for nature and the changing seasons, aligning with the Japanese aesthetic concept of Wabi-Sabi, which appreciates the beauty of imperfection and impertinence. When we put together our monthly Teapro boxes, we always try to consider the culture behind the tea and what we can learn from it. And Japan has some of the most mindful and spiritual concepts, which, if we take them to heart, can make a powerful change in our lives. So with that in mind, I wanted to share some of my favorite ones with you. Wabi-Sabi, find peace in imperfection. We already touched on it earlier in the video. This concept encourages us to recognize that nothing in life is perfect. Instead of striving for flawlessness, we can find joy in the imperfections that make our lives and us unique. Oubaitori, never compare yourself. This concept is inspired by the 4 trees that blossom in Japan each spring: cherry, plum, peach, and apricot. In fact, the word Oubaitori is written as a combination of the Japanese kanji characters for these 4 trees. And the idea is that every tree type blossoms in its own time, has different flowers, and produces their own unique fruit. So, don't judge yourself by someone else's path. You will blossom in your own unique way when the time is right for you. Shikata Ga Nai, let go of what you cannot change. Recognize that some things are just out of our control, and that's okay. Let go and focus on what you can change instead. Kintsuki, repair cracks with gold. Kintsuki is the Japanese art of putting broken pottery pieces back together with gold. Just like pottery, sometimes we can also break, but when our cracks heal, we become so much more powerful, beautiful, and unique. Shinrin Yoku, forest bathing. Shinrin Yoku encourages us to spend time in nature, really observing and taking it in with all our senses. It's an amazing way to de-stress and center yourself. Starting to feel zen? Okay, let's roll up our sleeves and learn how to prepare a traditional bowl of matcha. Here are the utensils you'll need. A matcha bowl, also known as chawan, a tea scoop or chashaku designed to measure 1 gram of matcha, a whisk or chasen handcrafted out of a single piece of bamboo, and of course, ceremonial grade matcha. Personally, I also love using the matcha sieve chafuroi. I think it makes the matcha smoother and easier to froth. I recommend using 2 scoops of matcha powder per serving. Gently sift it into your bowl. You can use your chashaku to smooth out the clumps in the sieve. I pour the hot water against the ceramic wall so it has a chance to cool down before touching the matcha powder. Now start whisking your tea, first slowly circling the bowl and then in quick zigzag motions. Try to be present as you prepare the matcha. Take your time, pay attention to your movements and engage all your senses. Remember the 4 principles of the tea ceremony: harmony, wa, respect, kei, purity, sei, and tranquility, jaku. Once frothy, put your chasen aside and take a sip of your delicious matcha. So refreshing. The taste of matcha can vary significantly based on its grade, its origin, the time of harvest, its processing method, and the freshness of the powder. If you want to learn more about it, as well as how to test the quality of your matcha, I've included a link to another video for you in the description. I want to share a personal story with you. The first time I've ever tried matcha was in this fancy coffee shop, and it tasted awful. I couldn't even finish my matcha latte. I'm curious, let me know in the comments what your experience has been the first time you ever tried matcha. Needless to say, I was put off from matcha for a really long time, and when we started sourcing matcha for Teapro, I had huge anxiety about it, and we tried so many samples until one day we found this amazing matcha from the volcanic island of Kyushu in Japan. That was the moment where I realized what the fuss was all about. Honestly, it's just so incredibly delicious. It's smooth, it's fresh, with a hint of sweetness, and it has this beautiful umami taste with, I'd say, pretty much 0 bitterness. When I drink it, I imagine I'm on a meadow surrounded by this juicy green grass, and it's a beautiful sunny day, and I'm lying on my back completely at peace watching the fluffy little clouds go by. Let me know in the comments how you feel when you drink matcha. If you're enjoying this video, please hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so I get encouraged to make more content for you. Thank you.